things like that happen. I mean, it's you could argue that it was, maybe a poor schedule, and maybe they could schedule him on a bigger court. Yes, but again, she's Alex Eala. That's been a talk, and which is understandable. There's some players coming from respective countries, like she's coming from Philippines, which is now a big deal. She's been the biggest ever, tennis player from that country, which is a big country, and there's big.
Novak Djokovic has finally broken his silence, and this time, he didn't whisper. He roared. After Alex Eala's shocking first-round exit at the Australian Open, the tennis world expected the usual reactions: analysis of form, nerves, or tough competition. But what happened next flipped the narrative completely. Djokovic stepped forward and aimed directly at the system. Eala, the pride of the Philippines and widely regarded as the greatest tennis talent the country has ever produced, entered Melbourne carrying not just expectations, but momentum. She's been breaking barriers, rewriting history, and putting Filipino tennis on the global map. This wasn't just another appearance. This was a statement opportunity that SOY fans are asking: was she placed on a smaller outer court? According to Djokovic, that decision mattered, and it mattered a lot. In his words, Eala deserves respect. She deserves proper scheduling. She deserves equal treatment. Instead, she was assigned to a less prominent court while higher profile names occupied the main stages. To casual viewers, that might sound minor. But in elite tennis, details decide destinies. Court size affects everything. Atmosphere shifts confidence. Crowd energy fuels momentum. Lighting alters visibility. Even subtle surface differences can influence timing and footwork. At a Grand Slam, margins are razor thin. 1% can separate victory from defeat. Djokovic made it clear: these factors aren't excuses, they're realities. And here's where the controversy deepens. This wasn't, according to supporters, an isolated incident. Many believe Eala has faced a pattern of questionable decisions throughout her time competing under the broader women's tour structure. The Australian Open qualifiers added fuel to that fire. During a crucial rally in the first set of a qualifying match, Eala struck a shot that appeared undeniably in. The mark on the court was visible. The angle was clear. Spectators saw it. Momentum was shifting in her favor. Then came the call, out. Gasps rippled through the stadium. Replay chatter exploded online. What should have been her point became a turning moment in the match. Instead of consolidating confidence, she was forced to reset under pressure. Moments like that change matches. Matches change tournaments. Djokovic didn't accuse anyone of conspiracy. But he did question management decisions. He emphasized fairness, transparency, equal opportunity. In a sport striving for global growth, overlooking emerging stars, especially from non-traditional tennis nations, sends the wrong message. Eala's early exit may show up in statistics as a routine first-round loss. But behind the numbers lies a bigger debate: are rising talents receiving the stage they've earned? For the Philippines, Eala remains a hero. For Djokovic, she represents something bigger: the future of tennis beyond traditional powerhouses. And when a 24-time Grand Slam champion speaks up, the world listens. This story isn't over.
Alex a little bit annoyed now. That's the second time that has happened with that same linesman.
Now, if you thought the earlier controversy was bad, buckle up, because this is where it spirals into something far more disturbing. During that qualifying match at the Australian Open, the questionable line call wasn't even the worst part. Yes, the ball looked clearly in. Yes, the momentum was swinging in Alex Eala's favor. But instead of making a firm decision, right or wrong officials chose a third option that left everyone stunned. They replayed the point. In professional tennis, that's not standard practice unless there's a legitimate external interference. A let cord? A distraction from the crowd? Technology malfunction? Fine. Replay it. But uncertainty over a visible line call? That's supposed to be decisive. In or out. You live with it. Yet somehow, when it involved Eala, the rulebook suddenly felt flexible. And here's what stood out the most: she didn't crumble. She didn't yell. She didn't lose control. She walked calmly to the chair umpire, eyes locked in, voice steady but sharp. Her message was clear. She knew exactly what was happening. There was no confusion in her tone. No fear. Just conviction. That moment told you everything about her mindset. Instead of letting frustration derail her focus, she reset. She refocused. And despite the noise, despite the calls, the tension, the psychological pressure, she won the match. Not only that, She powered her way all the way to the finals of the qualifiers. That's not luck. That's mental steel. But the drama didn't stop there. Fast forward to her clash with Iga Swiatek, a multiple Grand Slam champion and former world No. 1. Facing Swiatek is a daunting task for any player, let alone a rising star still carving her path on the tour. Yet Eala wasn't intimidated. She was trading blows, matching pace, holding her own in rallies. The crowd could feel it, something special was building. She wasn't just participating. She was competing. She was threatening an upset that would have sent shockwaves through the draw. And then in the middle of that momentum shift, it happened. An official approached her about items inside her backpack. Not after the match. Not during a changeover handled discreetly, but loudly, publicly. The announcement was made clear enough for the entire stadium to hear. In a sport where focus is everything, where rhythm dictates survival, disrupting a player mid-surge is no small matter. The timing couldn't have been worse. The optics couldn't have been more uncomfortable. To many watching, it felt unnecessary. It felt performative. Instead of quietly resolving the issue, the situation was amplified and Eala was placed under a spotlight she didn't ask for. Still, she fought on. That's the pattern here. Disruption. Response. Resilience. Whether you view these incidents as coincidence or something deeper, one thing is undeniable: Alex Eala refuses to be rattled. And every obstacle placed in her path only seems to reveal how strong she really is.
It's confirmed you cannot use it.
Think about the psychological impact for a second. You're locked in. Adrenaline pumping. Trading shots with one of the best players in the world at the Australian Open. Your timing is sharp. Your confidence is building. The crowd can feel the shift. And then boom. A public interruption. A loud announcement. A moment designed, intentionally or not, to pull you out of your zone and place you under a different kind of spotlight. For Alex Eala, that moment wasn't small. In elite sport, focus is everything. One disrupted rhythm, one seed of doubt, one flash of embarrassment, that's sometimes all it takes to tilt momentum. When you're competing against someone of the caliber of Iga Swiatek, the margin for error is microscopic. This is why the conversation matters. Because this isn't just about one call, or one backpack announcement, or one court assignment. It's about competitive integrity. It's about whether every athlete, regardless of nationality or ranking, receives consistent and fair treatment. And that's where Novak Djokovic's voice carries enormous weight. Djokovic isn't a casual observer tossing out hot takes. He's a 24-time Grand Slam champion. He's spent nearly 2 decades navigating the pressures of the biggest stages in tennis. He understands momentum swings. He understands hostile crowds. He understands what fair management feels like and what questionable management feels like. So when someone with that resume speaks up, people listen. And they should. His point is simple: rising stars deserve respect. They deserve professionalism. They deserve equal opportunity. Court assignments shouldn't feel dismissive. Officiating shouldn't feel inconsistent. Administrative decisions shouldn't create unnecessary distractions during pivotal moments. Especially not for young players representing nations that don't traditionally dominate the sport. Eala carries more than just her own ambitions, she carries the hopes of Filipino tennis. That responsibility is already heavy. She shouldn't also have to battle preventable disruptions and controversial decisions on top of facing elite opponents. The broader issue here is fairness. The integrity of competition. The assurance that matches are decided by skill, preparation and execution, not by confusion, optics or uneven handling. Now the debate is open. Do you believe these incidents point to poor management? Do you see a pattern, or are they isolated moments blown out of proportion? Should governing bodies reassess how they handle emerging talents on the biggest stages? One thing is undeniable: Alex Eala continues to show resilience. She keeps fighting. She keeps competing. And she keeps proving she belongs. With her talent, composure and now influential voices backing her, this story feels far from finished. Tennis thrives when competition is fair, transparent and earned. And that's something every fan can stand behind.